and welcome to Getting to Good Enough, a podcast to help you let go of perfectionism so you can do more of what you love. I'm Shannon Wilkinson, a life coach in Portland, Oregon. I'm a recovering perfectionist who's getting better at good enough.
And I'm Janine Adams, a certified professional organizer in St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm lucky enough to be naturally good at good enough.
And today we're talking about creating healthful boundaries around work. Hey Janine.
Hey Shannon, how you doing?
I'm pretty great. How are you?
I'm pretty great too. Happy 150th episode.
Woohoo! It's our sesquicentennial.
That's right.
Although,
well, it's not years, but still.
I don't know what it would be in episodes.
I know. We should work on that. If that word doesn't exist, we should invent it.
Sesquicepisodials. Never mind.
I think that we just need, never mind. We still need the centen in there, is what I was about to say.
Oh.
But anyway, 150 episodes. It's amazing that time just flies.
It really does. It's very exciting.
I mean, it flies and also it goes really slowly. It's such a weird combination. But yeah, it's great. Yeah, because 2020 and all. But it's really gratifying to be going strong 150 episodes in.
It really is. I don't know exactly what I was thinking, but I didn't really think about reaching 150 episodes or any of these kind of benchmarks that we've reached.
No, I'm confident I didn't think about reaching 50 episodes. I don't think my mind went past like 10 or 25. But yeah, it's great. It's thank you for being such a fun podcast partner so that we just keep having a good time.
Well, thank you. It's just like fun to get to chat every week.
Yeah, it really is. And if we get to help a couple people along the way, that's even better.
Right. I hope we're doing
more
that.
Than a couple. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope so too.
Otherwise, it seems a little gratuitous.
Right, because we could just talk with each other. Right.
Well, today we are talking about creating helpful work boundaries, which, you and I have been working from home for many, many years, been self-employed for many years. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel like I've gotten really good at this, and sometimes I'm really horrible at it.
Yes. Yeah, I had one of those days yesterday where it was Sunday, and I just said to myself, I'm so tired of working. I'm just always working. What's the matter with you, Janine? Yeah. You need a better boss. Because, I didn't really I didn't do that much work yesterday, but I also didn't relax much yesterday. It was like if I was doing, I had to go to Home Depot and buy light bulbs. Hate Home Depot.
That's work.
Oh, it was so much work. But yeah, as my own boss, am very good to myself with the self-care around crises, personal, if I have family health issues, I'm able to prioritize in that department. But that's about it.
Yeah, it's, I get that. Like somehow it seems so much easier to do like that as opposed to just on a day-to-day basis. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When there's, sort of no crisis to blame it on, maybe. I don't know what that feeling is, but
well, yeah, it's about, I think maybe it's about prioritizing, and too often I don't prioritize my own well-being, needing a break.
Right.
But if, my father or my husband is sick and needs my help, it's very easy for me to know what's important to me then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of sad, isn't it? That
Aw.
I don't know what's important to me, that I'm important to me some of the other times. But there's so many ways that work, even if you're not self-employed, but it can just creep into our personal lives, isn't there?
Right. And I think technology, which was supposed to make everything easier, has made this more complicated.
Yep, absolutely.
And the thing that really got me thinking about this is we took a week away recently. My husband had some paid leave that he had to use or lose, and so we decided to spend some time at an Airbnb at the beach. And I was going to work during that time.
So you were calling it a working vacation in your head?
Well, I wasn't even calling it a vacation.
Oh,
really.
okay.
I was just sort of thinking like, I'm just going to keep working, maybe doing a little less work, and I'll be doing it in somewhere else, somewhere other than home.
Mm-hmm.
But then I get there and it's the beach, and I want to be able to enjoy being at the Oregon coast and not work. But I didn't make really clear boundaries. And so it's sort of like what you were just describing. I felt like the whole time I didn't really feel rested, like I had a vacation. And I felt like there was work stuff that I wasn't doing that I should be doing.
Mm-hmm. So, that's just a bummer, because you have dissatisfaction on both ends of that spectrum. Right. Like it's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, not cool.
And you're spending all, time with your husband, and you were spending money on an Airbnb, and you're in a beautiful surroundings. And you were torn into, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
So what do you wish?
I did enjoy the week, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
But
not as fully as you might have if you had made different choices.
Right. Yeah. And I think really those choices would have been to get very clear with myself up front what work felt important to accomplish during the week. Like, I had client sessions, so obviously I would do those, and then deciding what other work felt important and having a very clear list so I could work through that instead of thinking the whole time, wait, there's something I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
So that's what would have made a difference for me.
Mm-hmm. That's a great idea.
Yeah, and also probably some time blocking, do some scheduling, like, I'm going to work on these hours, like maybe do it around my client appointments. Like I have an appointment at this time, so I'll tack on to that another half hour, an hour to do work.
Yeah. I don't get to go on vacation. It doesn't seem like. And so I go to Walla Walla, right, to it's a very nice place to go. But it's still, I'm there for family. But I do that time blocking thing unwittingly, I realize, because I stay in an Airbnb, and I, in ordinary circumstances, don't see my dad until 10:30 in the morning. So and I'm on Central Time, so I can get up early, and that's when I get all my work done. And that work for me is usually blogging and keeping up with email and stuff like that. And then I can let it go for the rest of the day, which for me works out well. And I made when I went on that driving trip last fall, I made a simplified version of my Trello daily task management board, which just had the things that were realistic to expect to do while on vacation, or not vacation, but whatever, that seemed important to keep up, like daily yoga and blogging and stuff like that. Although that went by the wayside because I lost my access to my computer.
Oh, right. Right. That's when the battery swelled or something.
Yeah, the battery swelled, and they told me I couldn't turn it on or it might blow up. Which is, that's clear. That was a clear boundary. But I had my phone, right? So I still had my Trello task manager board, and so I could keep on top of everything was just more difficult because I didn't have a computer. But in a way, I did kind of what we're talking about, which was that in advance I set up what I expected to do. And because just of the way things are there, I was able to time block. I treasure those early morning hours in Walla Walla where I can get some stuff done and have time to myself.
Yeah, that's great. And that's interesting that's what you were just doing naturally.
Yeah.
Because I know, you have a lot going on while you're there, and it has always been amazing to me that you keep up with blogging and those parts of your work while you're there and getting all this other stuff done.
Yeah, I guess the blogging, I try to do it 4 times a week over 2 blogs, and I've been doing it for so long that the day feels wrong. I mean, I take Wednesday, Saturday, and Sundays off, so the day feels wrong if I haven't done it, and so I try not to skip it. part of what makes my day whole, I guess. But yeah, and then doing whatever my dad needs, and then seeing some friends and stuff is also really important. Drinking wine and so forth. So, yeah. But, if I were to ever take an actual vacation, like when I went to Barbados 8 years ago for our
oh my goodness
50th anniversary, I had my phone. It was a different time technologically in 2012, but I did do some work there because I felt like I had to keep the business going. And at the time, I didn't have I did have people, but in looking back, I think, was that really necessary?
Right.
Being with my friends and being in just a beautiful Caribbean island.
Yeah.
Did I really need to dangle my feet in we had what do they call them? What do you call a small pool? It's not a hot tub, but it's not a baby pool, but it's
like
just
a soaking pool?
Yes, that's it. We had one of those, so I was soaking my legs while I sat on this edge of it and doing stuff, work stuff. But sad. Yeah, but it's not just about vacation, is it? As we started talking about, yeah. It's like,
because it's especially during the time of the pandemic, where so many people are working from home who aren't used to working from home. Those lines blur. Mm-hmm. And if your work is your laptop and it's in your bedroom or at your kitchen table, it's hard to walk away from it. It's hard to leave work for the day.
Yep. And it's hard to shift gears.
Yeah.
Mentally. Yeah. I feel so fortunate that I have a big enough home that I can have a designated home office, and I can leave my laptop in it, and I can clear off my desk at night as sort of a ritual that closes the end of the workday and stop working. Except I do tend to check my email, which would be good if I'd stopped that.
I know. And I think I wrote a blog post about this years ago, so this isn't anything new for me, but I have a tendency to just sort of wander off at the end of the day as opposed to, ending my work day. And so it always feels like there's more I could go back to, or, I don't know, I didn't even know how to describe it. There's sort of like this weird feeling of like, well, what if I, want to go back and do this thing that I didn't do, or, whatever. Like,
you don't get that sense of completeness that you did back in the day when we had an office outside of the house, and
right,
you turned off your
no
light
cell
and left.
phones.
Right. Yeah, it was very different back then.
No cell phones, no email. You just got to go home.
Right. Exactly. Or to happy hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. And I actually find that my Trello board helps a lot with that, because I try to clear it by the end of the day. And if it's the end of the day and there's stuff I haven't done, they just get moved over to the backlog, so they get looked at again the next day, or they get deleted for the daily tasks. So those little rituals, I think, at least for me, are really helpful.
Well, I have that as a ritual, but I'm not doing it until I'm getting ready for bed.
Oh.
So at least I'm doing it, which is useful. But I think it would be helpful for me to have a sort of end of the workday routine, to plan what I'm going to do for work for the next day. And because it always, my days always start better when I know exactly what I need to do.
Yes, and when I have a clear desk. Those two things together, hugely helpful for me. Yeah. And it can just like jump right in, hit the ground running.
Right. And so I think actually, creating that boundary helps you be more effective.
Absolutely. Isn't that interesting? I mean, because what we're suggesting is that we consider stopping working, right?
Yes.
Putting a stop to the work day, and then starting the other stuff, the relaxing or the family time. And it seems a little bit paradoxical, but it does make us more productive if we do that.
Yeah. And I'm realizing that as we're talking, part of the problem is my sort of natural energy peak is like right around the time that people are coming home or sort of finishing up their work. And, like if I was on my own schedule, I get the most done like between 5 and 7.
Oh, yeah, that's hard when you have family.
Yeah. So I think maybe I can move that back a little bit to like between 3 and 5 and see if I can make 3 and 5. Well, as you've been learning all day, I am so messed up by daylight savings time. I have no idea what time it is.
Whatever time it is, it's 2 hours later than you think it is.
Yeah. Every time I've guessed what time it was or thinking like, oh, what do I need to do next? It's about this time. I've been like an hour and a half to 2 hours off.
It's so funny. So, and you've been, it's later than you think it is. So this is working against your natural clock, isn't it? Because when it's time for you to stop, it's going to feel 2 hours earlier in your body. You're going to miss your prime time completely today. Yeah. Except you're doing an amazing job podcasting, so I don't.
Well, thank you.
Maybe you just adjusted your prime time today.
Right. Well, yeah, and I think I don't know. I'll have to figure out how to get my circadian rhythm back, and maybe I can be more purposeful in identifying when my energy level, or just start doing stuff. Then it's not like I'm flagging at 3:00. I think it just takes me so long to get going in the morning.
Yeah, that's interesting. And, I'm a morning person, so I get up early and hit the ground running, which I love. But we don't eat dinner and stuff, and I'm not usually cooking it, so I have until at least 7, usually later, before I go upstairs. And just the other day, I went upstairs and I said to Barry, I've been working for 14 hours in a row. That's not okay.
Oh, yeah. Jeez.
I mean, I walked Bix once or maybe twice during that time, but yeah, it's like, so it's sort of the downside to being a morning person, because I don't let myself stop early. I'll start at 7, but I don't usually let myself stop at 3 or something. So I need to work on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I can't imagine, your 13th or 14th hour of work feels really great or productive.
Well, usually I'm checking things off my list, so that feels good. But yeah, but you're right. I mean, it's not.
Although it could be different if you're doing I remember when I was working at a restaurant, we used to do split shifts, where you'd work lunch, so you'd work from 10:30 to 3, and then you had 2 hours off, and then you'd work from 5 to whatever. So if you're working a split shift and you are taking some time off during the day,
that wouldn't be that. Yeah, that's that wouldn't work for me probably. Although, what am I talking about? I go get my hair cut. It's not like I'm so fortunate that I have all the freedom that I have. But it's real. I just need to think about it more. I need, those boundaries really are important. And taking that time, because, we've been doing our businesses a long time. They're not going to shrivel on us. Wither away for if we cut a couple hours short on a day or two a week or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. But it seems like there's like many different ways you can approach creating these boundaries. Mm-hmm. For me, a lot of time it's really creating a mental boundary, like being very specific about like, this is the time that I'm going to work, and these are the things that I'm going to get done, sort of, and or these are the things I'm going to get done depending on the circumstances. And then there's also like physical things you can do, like, closing your computer, clearing off your desk, not answering, not looking at email, not, using your phone for work-related things, like, really sort of setting yourself up to maintain those work boundaries.
Yes, and I feeling myself wanting to vow to put my phone in a different room, like leave my phone in the kitchen all evening. See how that feels. That might be a really good thing. After I have my nightly call with my father, put the phone down, and that sounds kind of good. That could be a nice little experiment anyway. But
that is an interesting experiment.
But those mental things you talk about. I think that's a great point. I know sometimes I'll say, okay, if I can get done these things by 3:00, I'll come up with something specific. I'll watch a movie, or I'll watch an episode of a show, or I'll pop some popcorn and watch a movie, or something that gets me away from the work. But usually I do it more as a reward than as a motivational reward, rather than just good old self-care. So maybe I shouldn't have to earn it. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it'd be an interesting experiment to take.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we want to hear from you, our listeners. I almost said viewers again. I don't know why. This is not a TV show.
That's so funny.
This is not a YouTube video. But we want to hear from you, and we would love to know how you create work boundaries, or where you struggle to create work boundaries. You can let us know by leaving a message at 413-424-GTGE. That's 4843. Or by letting us know on social media. Facebook and Instagram is at Getting to Good Enough, and Twitter is at GTG Enough. And you can always head over to the comment section of the show notes at gettingtogoodenough.com. For now, this is Shannon Wilkinson in Portland, Oregon.
And Janine Adams in St. Louis, Missouri.
And we hope that good enough is getting easier for you. Thing is that our friendship has no boundaries.
Oh boy. But it's so true though.